Hi, this is Angela. I'm going to try to show you real quick. I don't have a lot of time and this needs a lot of work, but I've got a tomato area here which I don't really have tomato beds, everything's kind of interplanted, but I need to get them pruned. I need to get them staked. And a lot of people don't prune their tomatoes. And I'm going to tell you why I do. So hang with me for just a minute. Okay, so tomatoes are kind of going wild in here. I just added this cage. I actually broke off a zinnia while I was doing it, ruined a zinnia, ruined another plant. Anyway, whatever, it happens. So these are cages my Uncle Norman built for my dad years ago, and they are great, but they're huge. I came in here and actually on the outside of it, I don't even know if you can see, I put some twine here to hold this plant up because I'm running out of stakes. So I'm going to do this plant on the other side, just kind of get it anchored to this cage as well. And let me show you what I trim. First of all, anything that's dragging on the ground, you want to get rid of. And some of these just pull off. But tomatoes are very susceptible to, I don't know what it's called, guys. I'm not a professional. Some type of blight that is caused by too much dampness. So rain, watering your plants, you don't even really need to water tomato plants once they've gotten going. Almost broke a big limb there. Okay, get all of those down off the ground because water splashes up, it retains it, and then it's susceptible to that blight. Now, a lot of people will come in and say, get rid of the suckers. Let me show you what a sucker is. Okay, so here is your regular plant just growing. A sucker comes in here in this more like, if this is 45 degrees, what's that? 22.5 degrees kind of. That is actually a brand new plant. So there's a couple of options. A lot of people pinch those off and get rid of them. They say that makes their tomatoes bigger. Sorry. That's not been my experience. You can prune these, stick them in water, get them to root. You've got a new plant that you can get started. I'm not really going to do that because I planted over 80 tomato plants already, and I still have some I need to do. And we're in past mid-June. But I do keep planting tomatoes until July because in my area, I can get tomatoes until September, October, November. So here's another good example. So that's a sucker right there. This is your regular leaf for your regular plant. Guys, I do the opposite. And I've had success. I don't know that it's scientific, but I get rid of these big leaves. They are doing nothing except photosynthesis, right? Well, I still have the whole top of this plant that can do that. These big leaves, they're doing nothing except pulling energy away from your fruit making and your blossom making. I actually keep the suckers because that's a new plant that new tomatoes are going to grow on. I don't know whoever told people to start getting rid of suckers. Some of the best tomatoes I have are on these suckers. Now that's 2 suckers right there that are going to grow and eventually put out little stems like this with more tomatoes. And really, it kind of might just depend on the type of tomato you have. Really big, huge tomatoes, yeah, I might come in and take off some of the suckers because then my tomatoes are going to be smaller. I'm not trying to win the prize tomato at the local fair. I want lots of tomatoes for making pasta sauce, etc. So particularly a cherry tomato, I just let these suckers go. Just let them do what they want to do. So I come in, and again, right here, I'm doing this one-handed, so I apologize for it being wonky. That is right there. Let me show you again. Here is another sucker right here. In between here's the main stem and just an offshoot, just a leaf branch. This is the sucker coming in here at the diagonal. You can get rid of the sucker if you want. I get rid of this big leaf. Because then that is more energy to go into my fruit and blossom making. So there's another big leaf. And look, I still have plenty of leaves on here to photosynthesize for my plant. I've now anchored it to this big cage. It was on the ground. Now it's not. I will have to come in here every week or two, and I'll just dedicate a day to going around and pruning all of my tomato plants. Because here's another one. Sucker right there. Big stinking leaf that's not doing anything except sucking up energy away from producing blooms and fruit. So that's just how I do it. You're going to hear professional people tell you get rid of those suckers. That's okay. I don't know why they say that. Maybe ask them. This has just been I even come along and just rip those things off sometimes. This has just been my experience that this plant does not need all of these leaves. It's got all of that still for photosynthesis and for feeding the plant. And now it can go, oh, hey, I didn't need those leaves. Now I can produce more blooms and eventually fruit. Hope that was helpful. I'm standing on my head. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. I might even answer them with a video reply if you're on TikTok. Got a whole lot more to get done. And I will, hopefully see you again soon. Happy gardening.